Hey guys, so today this video is going to be about showing you how to fill your own acrylic nails. So if you're interested in that, then go ahead and keep watching this video. Okay, so here are some of the items that you'll need. You're going to need some nail primer. You're going to need some no lines because this helps for you to eliminate your fill line. You also need some Bond Aid to remove the shine from the nail so that way the nail can adhere to your natural nail a little bit better. You're going to need monomer. This is the liquid that goes with the powder to create the hard effect in the acrylic nail. You're going to need a nail buffer for when you're done with all of the drilling, a nail file, a nail brush, some cotton balls, and this is my professional nail drill that I have that comes with the foot pedal. And you also need a nail bit to remove or balance out the acrylic nails. You're going to need some acetone if you are removing nail polish, and maybe even some nail glue if you have any lifting. Also need a clean towel and a paper towel to wipe your acrylic off once you're doing the fill. Okay, so first things first, I'm taking 100% pure acetone and I'm going to take off all of the nail polish from my client's nails. You want to be very careful with 100% acetone when you're doing acrylic nails, because if you use too much or sit the acetone on the acrylic for too long, it may cause additional lifting. Because acetone is used to remove acrylic nails, and it does melt away and dissolve the acrylic. So now I'm just taking my professional nail drill and my nail bit to go around the cuticle to thinning out the fill line and also to remove some of the shine and some of the layers of the natural nail, so that way when I apply the Bond Aid, the primer, and the no lines to eliminate the fill line, it can adhere to my client's nails better and prevent any lifting from possibly happening in the future. Now this particular client, she did have some lifting from a previous nail salon that she had went to get her nails done, so I am taking my time to drill very close to the cuticle and get some of that shine away from her natural nail, so that way the acrylic can adhere to the nail and last long and not lift. Because if you get lifting, you can have the possibilities of getting fungus or watermarks, the green watermarks and things like that on your nails, and that's never good because that can cause long-term problems. So be very careful when you're out there getting your nails done, ladies. And at this point, I'm just applying a little bit of nail glue so that way I can adhere the lifting that was happening to her nail bed. And this is the process of me taking the liquid monomer and the powder, the polymer, to combine it together and get the acrylic so that way I can adhere it to the nail. And I'm going ahead and cleaning off all the excess along the cuticle. You want to make sure that's nice and clean and none of the acrylic is on the cuticles, because if you have it on the cuticles, then it definitely will cause some lifting. So you can take the brush and go around the cuticle once you apply the acrylic. And then you're also going to have a phase where you're going to clean all that up once you do the filing and the drilling and things like that. So this all just happens with trial and error. If this is your first time or your first couple of sets, it's going to take time for you to really get your technique down. But what I learned is using more liquid and liquefying the mixture is going to help you a lot better. So you're just going to go ahead and repeat these same steps for every single nail. Now, if you have any areas where you have cracking or lifting, then you may need to apply a little bit more acrylic. But you want to make sure that you make it pretty even, an even amount. You don't want to put thick layers unless you like thick nails, but for the most part, myself and my clients, we do like our nails to be pretty natural looking, so I tend to do a pretty thin amount of acrylic, especially when I'm doing my fills. And then just repeat this same exact steps on the opposite hand. Now I'm taking my nail clipper and I'm cutting off a little bit of her nail because she did feel like they were too long once they grew out. So I'm just cutting off a little bit of the length so that way we can get them down to the size that she desires. I like to use this nail clipper because if my client wants the square nails, it just helps me to eliminate some of the work. I can clip it down to where I need it and then just clean it up a little bit with the file. So now I'm just making sure that they're nice and even and both hands are matching. And I'm going to go ahead and file. I use this filing method with square nails because it helps me to get that really square shape where it's really sharp at the ends. This particular client, she loves the square, so I'm making sure that I am filing it at the top, and then I'm just going to clean it up a little bit on the sides. And I am eliminating some of my workload because it's helping me to work a lot faster, more efficient, and it makes it easier for me. And now I'm just taking my nail and I'm pushing on the sides of my client's nail bed to loosen up some of that acrylic that I may have cleaned up around the cuticle that may still be attached to the skin because the brush is not going to get every single bit off. So I'm just going to loosen that up so once I go around the cuticles again with the drill, it can easily clean up that area and have it nice and smooth without any of the acrylic adhering to anywhere close to the cuticle or anywhere close to the sides of my client's nail beds. It could just be nice, smooth, and a clean area. So that way no lifting will happen and everything is nice and smooth and professional looking. And then just repeat these steps with the rest of the nails, of course, because you don't want any of your nails to have any lifting. So just repeat the steps as I'm doing for both hands around the nail bed. And as I'm doing this, I'm also leveling out the nail and I'm looking at it from all angles to make sure that there's no lumps, no bumps, that the nail looks nice and even, because you don't want some of your acrylic to be high or too thin or too thick in some areas. You want the acrylic to be nice and balanced out so that way when you apply the polish, you don't see that, because you will definitely see it once you apply the polish if your acrylic is not even. So drilling is very important. When you're a beginner, it may take you a little bit longer to get this technique down, but you want to make sure the nail is nice and even. And now I'm just taking the buffer and I am just going over each nail just a little bit. There's no particular time that you need to do this. You just do it until the nail bed feels smooth, because it will feel a little rocky or a little grindy before you do this, just because you've been using the drill. But this is one of the final stages before you do the polishing. You want to buff the nail bed really good. All of the nail bed, buff the sides, buff the tips, and buff the top surface, so that way it's nice and smooth. And once you apply your polish will go on nice and smooth. Now, if you are doing gel polish, this is a step that you don't have to do. You don't have to buff the nail if you don't desire to do so, but I do it no matter what. This color is a shellac gel polish color, and the color is called Gotcha. It is one of my favorite gel polishes that I own because I love pink. So I'm going to be applying this to my clients' nails just as I would apply regular nail polish. The only difference with regular nail polish and gel nail polish is you have to clean up any mistakes that you have before you place your hand or your client's hand underneath the UV light. Because unlike regular polish, you can take acetone and clean up your edges of your nails after your nails have dried or after you apply the polish. But in this case, you have to clean up any mistakes that you have before you put it underneath the UV light, because once it's under the UV light, it's going to be very hard to try to clean up that edge of your nail or clean up that nail polish that may have gotten on your cuticle, because the UV light dries the gel. That's how the gel is dried. So you want to make sure that you polish the nails and clean up any edges with a small brush or something that you have where you can clean up the edges. I try not to use cotton because the cotton sticks to the gel, so get a small brush and clean up the edges before you place the client's hand or your hand into the UV light. So now, since I am putting her hand into the UV light, I'm just going to alternate between hands. And once I do the first layer, as I'm doing now, I'm going to apply the second coat, which you normally just need 2 coats as you do with regular polish. So once you do those 2 coats, you can alternate in between hands, and once you're done with that, then you can take the top coat and add the top coat to it just like you would with regular nail polish. And make sure you get your free edge, which is the edge of your nail as well, because you don't want your nail to be exposed without any color on it. So now I'm just applying the top coat like I would apply regular nail polish top coat and getting the free edge. So once I do this with every single nail, I'm going to switch my client's hands and put the hand with the top coat into the UV light so it can do that drying process. And you just need a very thin amount. It doesn't have to be thick or anything like that. And make sure, again, you stay away from the cuticle. So as you can see, I'm being very careful with this. And now I'm taking the alcohol, and the alcohol is the final stage when it comes to gel polish. I'm using 99% alcohol that I received from Walgreens, but you can use 70%. So the gel polish is not completely dry until you add the alcohol in it. It's the final step once the client's nails come out of the UV light. You just take cotton, put it on to, or put alcohol onto the cotton ball, and you're just going to wipe their nail on all of the surfaces to make sure the gel is nice and dry, and it also adds shine. Let me know if you need further information on this, because I'll be happy to do a video with just gel polish. This is the ending result. It's a nice, pretty, soft pink with the square tips.
I hope you enjoyed my mom's video. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Thank you for watching.